Welcome to this week's episode. I am so excited that you're here in this podcast, Take the Leap and Thrive Lioness. My mission is to share with you my journey and my experiences of breaking through limiting beliefs, unleashing the best within so that I may live a life where I follow my desires, achieve my full potential. I'm happy, I'm fulfilled. I feel me in every moment of the day. Like I'm doing this my way because it's my life and my journey. So if you're a woman and you're dreaming of starting an online business, doing motherhood your way, doing your career your way, all entwined in this one lifestyle by design that I think today's entrepreneur is building a personal business that enables us to live life our way. If that's you, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to empower you. I'm here to share with you my journey that may help you adjust yours, empower yours, follow your path. I constantly learn from amazing women, men and women. I connect on such a deeper level with women as I see myself in them, and I connect with them in my own life. I have so many incredible role models in my personal life that are actually having a business that wasn't there when I started a business, but that is there now. And it's so incredible to see that some of the people that are family that were there from the beginning, they've started their own businesses now, and I'm able to learn from these amazing women, and I know they are learning from me. But also so many strangers on the internet, so many amazing mentors and podcasts and YouTube videos, and just so many women that have connected through all these online channels online that I see them, and I've been seeing them create the life that I want to live through in ways that I want to do them. And you know what? Sometimes it made me feel like nervous and compare, not nervous, but less than and compare and things like that. But most of the times it made me realize that it's real. So it's not like what I guess this long intro what I'm trying to share is that it's not bad to take inspiration from people online, as long as we are taking inspiration. It's not bad to learn. It's not bad to compare in the right way, not even compare, but find ourselves, find strength and belief in our journey to what we're seeing others do. And that we have the power to turn that positively, to create that in a positive way. We can look at what other people are doing, and we can feel like, oh my goodness, we can look for it in ways in which we are convincing ourselves that they can have the life and dreams that we know in our hearts we desire to, because they have this better than us. They have this easier than us. They have this in a different way than us. Or we can say, wow, she's just like me. Oh, wow, she's multi-passionate like me. Wow, she's a busy mom like me. Wow, she went to the same university as me. Wow, she speaks like me. She looks like me. She seems to be desiring the same things as me. She came from the same town. She came from the same country, etc. There's power in that. And that's my purpose behind this podcast. As I share my own journey, my purpose is that I may give you power, and I'll remind you that you can take power, and it's always in your hands. It's such a powerful thing when we take full control of how we perceive the information out there, to use it in our favor. And I actually had a complete different topic for this episode today, but I'm going to lean in and actually give you the topic that somehow just intuitively happened as I've shared with you the mission of this podcast. I've shared it in many little snippets online, but I think it's due that we talk about it, because I feel like there's and this is something that's happening to me in my personal life with this incredible growth of social media and the internet and information. We have found such a magnitude of opportunity, but also this incredible overwhelm. While in my journey as a woman, I grew up comparing myself to other women, to other people. There, there are so many limiting beliefs, so many things out there that only now, as a grown woman that is on a mission to live a happy life in and out, and look at things that I may have learned and lived through, that I'm like, maybe I want to do that differently. Let me readjust myself and get super comfy. Hopefully I don't mess around the microphone too much. Because let's lay back. I hope you're grabbing a cup of coffee, because we're gonna dive deep. or a glass of wine or some water or tea or whatever you like. I've got a cup of coffee here. So I think that for us women, for most of us, that we've been raised to be so aware of how the world sees us and how we must present ourselves to the world. And in this comparison cycle that is almost always toxic, almost always leads in so low self-esteem and lost potential and so many things, because we are not always helped to see the power within, but actually see how we should be fitting the mold, how we should be making everybody feel comfortable that we're fitting the role that they are expecting of us. So that's not going to be the whole topic of today's episode, but that's been my experience. And that's something that I have identified, that it has fed a lot into so many limiting beliefs. Now, fast forward to me, this is really 2012, when I come aware, as I'm graduating university, of the concept of starting an online business. From 2010, midway through my university degree, my boyfriend and I at the time, who's my husband now, have found ourselves with business ideas. Like, we had all sorts of incredible ideas. We wanted to open a hotel. We had this incredible idea. We worked through it for a long time, sort of overwhelmed ourselves out of the idea. The funding seemed impossible. But what we didn't realize is that God was really working our hearts to say, I've got a different path for you. You're meant to be an entrepreneur. So I'll match you with your desires, and you'll find a way. Then we wanted to open a chiringuito in Spain, which is, which, if you guys don't know what it is, it's like this, like sort of like wooden kind of little pop-up summer, just like bars, I guess, where you sell food and drinks on the beach. It sounded like the vibe for us. And we explored through some more stuff until we found the online business model that just matched everything we've ever desired, which was to build our careers. We are graduating marketing, and to have a business. We're graduating business school, and to have freedom to travel, to make a lot of money, to go to amazing hotels, which is something we're so excited about, to amazing countries, to eat great food, to just live life freely on our terms. Now, with that, the internet offered this incredible opportunity to see that there were so many people doing it just like us. And in that time in our life, there was literally nobody really, with just a couple of people here and there, if we went down the family tree, or acquaintances that were doing business, nothing like what we wanted to do. And we couldn't find any like inspiration that is possible for us. And everybody around us was applying for graduate jobs. It was the safe thing to do, the right thing to do. And for many people, that was the amazing journey and path to follow. But it wasn't for us, because we felt no excitement about it and no pull towards it. So the opportunity of the internet, YouTube for us at that point, and simple Google searches, offered us the option to see that, wow, this is possible. So then we embarked on this journey of entrepreneurship, but also learning. And I know, I speak personally for myself now, that down the years, I felt as much empowered by what's out there online as I felt overwhelmed, as I compared myself, as I fed into that core foundation that I started with when I talked about the beginnings of me as a young girl, you know, growing up and growing up into this world as a girl and a woman, and that comparison, that just um, it's like I didn't really have, I had a lot of confidence in many ways and from many achievements and things in my life, and definitely people in my life that believed in me, and that was confidence. But what I didn't fundamentally know, and this is something that now I know for sure, and I plan to teach my children really well about this, is to not compare. That actually the biggest power, it's not even looking at other people that have what we have in a way to compare. The biggest power is unleashing the power within, being unique, being true to self. It's the only true power we have. It's the only way we can do it. So when we do look at other people, what we should take inspiration from is not exactly step by step how they're doing it, or exactly the strategies that they follow or the steps that they follow. What we should be looking for is inspiration at looking at other people that are doing business their way, or any goal we are hoping to achieve their way, and it's working. And if they are doing their way and that it's working for them, and especially when we go one level deeper and we have some level of connection to those people we are looking at, whether they're online, whether they're on a podcast like this, whether they're, you know, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or in our personal life, in our offline life, our real life, if we can find a way to also connect with them, that will be so much deeper. And just to give you a random example, I know that, I know I don't know for sure, but I'm quite convinced of it based on what we know, that Beyonce is successful because she's got an incredible talented career, incredible talent. She's an incredible singer. I admire that. If I look deep into her documentaries and her mindset and work ethic and belief in herself and all of this, I can find inspiration. I do have one point of connection with her. I'm a woman, she's a woman, but I'm not a singer and I'm not a talented singer. And maybe there's not that many levels of connection, at least front end, but there are so many other women online. I know that one of the first women that I got really inspired by was Alex Beaman, and in many ways I connected with her because she has graduated a university in England, like me, with the exact same degree. She didn't get a job after university, just like me. She sort of like swapped a couple of businesses, not exactly the businesses I swapped around, but similar to me. And initially I found so much power in, oh wow, she's just, it's incredible, she's doing all these things. And then when I've lost that thing, so let me redefine to make sure I'm making sense. If we find somebody that we can be inspired by, that are doing things their way, and that we can connect a little bit to that their way, because for some reason it's our way too, whether we live in the same country with them, we've graduated the same university, we study the same thing, we speak the same language, we look the same, we have the same hair color, we have the same, I don't know, just anything your heart can connects to, we can really use that encounter as such a powerful drive for us. But if you are anything like me, and maybe you've lived your life being compared a lot or being taught to compare a lot, even if those around you had all the good intentions to helping you achieve your full potential, to it's like it's almost like it's normal, it's like a human thing. We relate to those around us. Children learn to talk by watching us talk, they learn to eat by watching us eat. So it's like, it's not like the worst thing in the world. We are built to copy each other, that's completely fine. But then as humans, as us as women as well, right, we talking from that perspective, we do, I think we are, at least has been my experience and lots of women that I know, we are built in this way to compare ourselves a lot. And I think that there's an element of good in it, but it gets bad really fast. And it gets bad really fast in the sense of we start feeling like less than, and we start looking for answers on the outside. So for instance, I remember being super inspired by this amazing entrepreneur. By the way, go follow her. I still follow her today. I repost her a lot. She's incredible. I took lots of her programs, Alex Beaton. But for instance, I remember I've been following her for over a decade. I remember for a while thinking, well, but she's so like, she's a photographer and she's got all this video equipment and she's so skilled. And it's like my mind started going into comparing, but then looking for what I don't have that she has. But that, and you know, she's one of the many incredible women I followed and just stumbled upon on the internet. There's so many other in real life as well. But then as I identified this, what I'm talking to you about today, and I realized that I'm looking at this the wrong way. I'm not meant to be comparing exactly. This is not, we're not apples and apples. We may be similar in many things. I may find a connection. What I really should be looking for in everybody that I meet, and not too deep, a little bit. After all of it, after all the inspiration and the empowerment, I do need to turn off the TV, turn off YouTube, turn off, my phone, turn off the podcast, turn off and look within. I must look within. But once I realized that what I'm meant to be taking from other women that inspire me is just looking at them and say, wow, they are doing it their way. And look, they kind of doing the same thing as me their way. And they kind of have the same ways as me. And yes, they may have more of this and less of that and this and that. That's completely fine. I'm not trying to copy this person. I know there's like a saying in business and mentorship and coaching, do what they do and you'll have what they have. And in many ways, I agree with that. In many ways, I agree that following mentorship, it's the core of success. It's the core of humanity. But we must mostly, when we say do what they do, it's a little snip of it, right? So I'm like sort of like feeling intuitively to follow through on this example when I realized it's not just about exactly doing what this person does. Even if I did take some of her programs and learn so much and apply strategies, yeah, that's completely fine. But it's mostly about taking power from someone else's story. So what happens is that the more I see people that I connect with that have dreams like me, make things happen that I dream to make happen, the more I can build belief. Because if I'm just me with myself before I've achieved any of my dreams, I need to build belief from within. And hey, in my opinion, God is your guide for that. You're in my journey, faith is the core of it. Having faith in what's not happened yet, that's the most powerful thing always, to go from within. But I also believe that everything on the outside is on the same level. So what I mean is that we can have faith even when we can't even see anybody doing what we want to do. But then once we are from our soul, from our heart, intuitively start saying, even if we don't feel it strongly, start saying, I have faith. I believe that this dream is in my heart for a reason. I believe that I am meant to achieve this for a reason. I have faith that God put this desire in my heart and that I can, I can achieve this. But at the same time, while you're saying this, or maybe at the same, maybe before, maybe after, when you're looking for it, you will find that it's absolutely impossible in this world and through the power of the internet that you will not find other people that in some shape or form are doing what you want to do. And now it's like you can build, you build this faith, soul, intuitive belief, and you're building upon it. You can journal, you can talk to yourself, you can meditate on it, you can daydream on it, you can really empower yourself. That will always be the best way. But at the same time, you can look out into the world for 100% tangible ways. And this could be finding somebody that's doing things just like you, buying the program, subscribing to their YouTube channel, listening to their podcast, following them on Instagram, reading their blog, like literally. And now you're like, wow, like it's real. It's real. And the more your dreams become real to you, the more you believe that this is not just a dream, but this is a goal. See, the main reason why most of us don't struggle follow traditional paths in life, it's because they seem so real. None of us wonder, oh, should I go to school and get my diplomas and my education and my, my grades and go to get a job? And we don't, because we see it all around us. It's as real as it gets. We see everybody do life that way. I truly believe that by now, and especially for the generation after us, from the Gen Z and forward and beyond, online business is not going to have to be this breakthrough I think us millennials, we are kind of going through, because it's just going to be as real as it is. They're going to have as many people in their life having jobs as they're going to have people, making money on TikTok and the interwebs. So that's kind of it. But as we no matter what, no matter how normalized anything becomes in the world, we still all have our own cocktail of dreams. It might be that you want to raise your children a certain way. Like, for instance, I want to homeschool, world school, private school, kind of one mix in between. I am finding so many people that are doing one or the other, not kind of all of it. I have people in my real life that are unschooling. I know people I follow people online that are world schooling. I've spoken to people that have been homeschooled, and definitely I've been through traditional school, and I know lots of other people, and I've been through some sort of extra private tutoring, and I know lots of people too. So it's like I want a combination of all of them. I've not yet found a person that did it exactly the way my husband and I are planning to do it, but we are letting our desires, we are allowing ourselves to believe this is real, and through that we are looking for answers and strategies, and we are it's like we're putting forward the belief, we're putting forward the how we making this happen. Is this going to be the best route for our children? What are the benefits? What are the downturns? How do we learn? How do we create it all together? And through this mist of but making it real, like, because you see, you can think about it, but then if you don't dare to take action on it, don't dare to say it out loud. Like, one of the first things I'm doing that I wasn't doing in the first, like, my children at this time of publishing this podcast are 3.5 and just about to turn 1. And what I didn't really used to tell anybody, one or two people, really, just between my husband and I, and just maybe one or two people that I knew already are homeschooling or have been homeschooled. I didn't used to put it out there into the world because I was still looking for a way. But now I am putting it out there into the world. I'm telling everybody, even lots of, when they ask me, not just volunteering the information, even people that I know will say, well, that's not a good idea. Even, it doesn't matter, because I'm believing that the dream is real, and I trust myself that if this is something that I want enough, if this is something that I'm willing to learn enough about, if this is something that I truly believe is the best thing for me and my family, and specifically for the children, because it's them who will be homeschooled, world schooled, private schooled, private tutor school type of thing, I, through making it out there in a reality, I will find answers. And if through down the line, because obviously we are so early on, we were thinking about this before I even had the children, I will find if maybe this is not the right answer for me. And that's okay. I'm not afraid to say I want to homeschool and then maybe change my mind, because I would trust myself when if I do have anybody asking me. First of all, what does it matter if they ask me? But let's say I care. Let's say somebody important, and I feel like, okay, I owe you an explanation, like grandparents or something, right? I will give them an answer. They hold a position in our life. So then I'll say, well, I've explored this, and now I found that for all these reasons, it might not work. It's still a valid dream. It's still something, but that's what I believe. So I'm not, you see what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid to put myself out there. I used to be afraid. Starting an online business has helped me break through all these barriers that now I'm able to implement some of them in everyday life, like this. It's helped me tremendously with other things like body confidence, self-confidence. And it's not like it's done. It's not like I've baked the cake. I'm still figuring out the recipe, but I'm there and I can, do you see what I mean? It's just it's taking that dream into some sort of reality. And that's the first step. In order to even find somebody on the internet that you can connect to, in order to even have the opportunity to find out that there are other people doing what you want to do. Not exactly. Just like I haven't yet found a person that is mixing homeschooling with world schooling and private tutors, although I've seen snippets of different things, exactly in the way I want to educate my children and live our life as a family. I am finding so many in betweens that I am learning so much from. But first, I have to put my dream out there. First, I need to dare to be vulnerable to search the internet, vulnerable to say it out loud, first to myself, then to those I love, then further, right? So that's the first process. And then it's finding people and then being able to stop the comparison. I feel like the reason why I even leaned in to really say, okay, let's have this full conversation is because I feel like a lot of us are struggling right now in between two things. It's find people online that are doing what you're doing, follow their every step, take the paid programs, have one-on-one mentorship and do it. I agree, 1000%. Or close your eyes, don't look at anybody, just do it. Both valid, but it's not always like life is not always set up that way. It's completely valid for you to say, I'm just going to trust myself. I'm going to turn off the internet and follow me. That is valid if you're going to do it. If you feel that you are in a place in your life, and this can be right at the beginning, this can be before you've learned anything. Let's say you want to start an online business, and right before you've had any sort of you've looked up at anybody, you've had any sort of training about it, you're just like, I just trust myself, I'm gonna do this my way. And you intuitively in your heart feel that you shouldn't follow anyone, or you start following people and you're finding that it's paralyzing you. It's not allow you to move forward because you're feeling so many negative feelings about it, and it's bringing up so many limiting beliefs. If that's the case, turn off the internet. On other cases, it might be like you're ready to just connect with one person or a couple of people and go through that. That's valid. Do that. If you're like somewhere up and down between these, for instance, for me at the beginning, I needed to find myself in other people. Seeing other women build businesses online the way I wanted to was really helping me, because first of all, I just knew what I wanted out of my business. I didn't know what business I wanted to have. I knew what I wanted my business to do for my life, what I wanted to provide, how I wanted to feel about it. So me looking online, that was helping me get inspired by people, but also find the thing. What do I want to really do? That's how I came across freelancing. That's how I came across online courses and ebooks and stuff like that. Another thing was an appropriate path here would have been as soon as possible to go work with people on paid programs. For the longest time, based on my situation, I didn't feel worthy of paid programs. But then as I started understanding that that's what I needed going to the next level, I started doing what was possible for me. So it might have been buying somebody's ebook or buying somebody's low-cost membership, through the point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for that program. Through this journey, many times I also felt like I need to turn off the internet. And I did. I unfollowed everybody. Well, at least when I realized that's what's happening. I also have compared myself and then discovered, hey, hold up. It's not that she has better video equipment than you, that she has a videographer team, that she has this and that. It's just that she is doing things like you desire to do her way. Look at it. I've come to follow so many incredible women, and they are all so different. And I connect with them on personal levels, and they are all doing it differently, but their way. And it's like, in a way, I would have like, that was a big realization for me. And if you are feeling anything like that, hear me out on this one, because I hope that these next words I'm about to say are going to serve you as much as they served me when I realized them. And I've even learned them from many other women in some way or another. And it's this: everybody feels intimidated somehow. It's not that you just must not feel like less than, or feel like you have it all. So everybody feels intimidated somehow. And when I, sorry guys, I thought I'd turn my devices off. And when I looked at this multitude of women I've connected to, maybe like just half a dozen to a dozen of like, and outside, I'm talking mainly on the internet, coaches and people I bought programs for or follow on the internet, that was like, wow, I connected on a deep level on my journey of entrepreneurship. Looking at all of them, I have found a deep way to connect to all of them, deep connections in terms of similar skills, similar attitudes, similar businesses, similar ways. And equally, I have also said, I can't do it like her because, and I can't do it like her because, I can't do it because she, she has better video equipment. I can't do it because she's a better speaker than me. I can't do it because she's more marketable than me. Look at her life. She's so fashionable. She's so this. I can't do it because she has more time. Etc., etc., etc. So I said I can't. And then each of these individual women I've connected with have paid an incredible path to success. And each of them somehow in the journey have shared that there was a point in their life that they didn't move forward because and expressed that same limiting belief. And it's bewildering to me how we kind of all block ourselves in the same way. So even the person that I said has more this than me, she at some point was stuck because this other person had more than her. But then all of them had one thing in common. All of them had the one thing in common that drove them to success. And I'm talking about people that have achieved that success and at least appear on the outside to have that peace and success and everything. So it's almost irrelevant if they have it, really. I know they do, but it matters more the lesson I'm taking in my heart. Then I realized that it's really about, it's just like, first of all, let me stop trying to be afraid, because it's a natural thing and we're all feeling it. And it's the limiting beliefs exist, the comparison exists. Some of us have more or less of it, depending on our personality, our brain, our upbringing, our environment. But then there is this powerful tool that is called deciding. This powerful decision we make within to say, I decide to look at this differently. I am open to see this differently. I am open to learn from this. I'm open to decide that everything that I've ever come across, there was something in it that was meant to teach me. And I'm going to stop beating myself up. I'm going to stop saying, oh, wow, for so many years I've compared myself on the internet, and say, wow, look, I've arrived at the answer. This was the answer. For me, the answer was this. I'm going to only take inspiration, and I'm only going to look not for the strategy, though, of course, I may buy a paid program. And I know that life is all about learning, but whether it's a paid program, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's a podcast, whether it's somebody I'm talking to in real life, this is all I'm looking for. Somebody can do it their way. They have realized that them being them and tapping into them and their desires was the power all along. So when they did break through, when they did achieve their dreams, when they did make the money, when they did, start the business of their dreams, when they did homeschool their children, when they did travel the world, when they did have that happy marriage, when they did have that healthy body they feel good in, regardless of weight or whatever, that's because they've realized the answer was within all along. They can look outside for inspiration. They can look outside at other people's journey and take from their years of work and things, take the belief and making real. I'm making like quotation marks with my hands now, but with my fingers, what I meant about we don't doubt school or jobs because everybody around us is making it real. Well, it is very useful for us to look at those around us and see them having achieved or presented or gone through journeys that are similar to what we desire, because it's making it real, and then it's allowing us to make it more real. But then I realized that that's it. That's where it stops. From there, I look within and I say, I've got everything I need to succeed. And to further emphasize on this, it's what really makes a difference. When you look at programs and testimonials, maybe programs you're personally running, I know I'm experiencing this, or programs that you are taking from other people, and you see that there's lots of great testimonials, and there's also more people and you don't hear anything. That's because people can have the same business, the same opportunity, the same thing, but not do the same thing with it. Ultimately, we are the variable. And that's where the most powerful thing we can do is decide for ourselves to say that I am going to always look for the empowered way. I'm going to choose to believe I'm enough. I'm going to choose to believe that, for instance, right now, I hope to inspire you through this podcast to choose to believe that any time you spend on the internet, whether it's listening to a podcast, on YouTube, scrolling through Instagram, that you have the power to either turn it off if it doesn't serve you, or everything you take it to help you grow. It's even in this message that I'm sharing with you, it's not everything that I'm saying that may be what you need to take out of it, but you can look at it and say, how can this serve me? Why did I listen in? What was in my heart asking me to listen? What am I looking for? We are the most powerful strategy in our life and business. We are the power. We own the show. We live our lives. We drive this. We own the show. That's the biggest lesson as a mother, I want to teach my children. I want to inspire them from a really early age to look within for individuality and power, because then comparing doesn't become comparing anymore, but comes take power from, take belief from, take lessons from, look at and adapt it to you, rather than, I want to do what they do, but hold up, are they the same as me? Because comparison, even if you started with good intentions, like I started looking online for strategies. What can I do? How can I make money online? And then found women that I connected with, I felt inspired from, and then really quickly also overwhelmed by. None of their fault. They were just putting out their best content out there and just inspiring and empowering people. Then when I made a decision of how I perceive it, how I look, what I listen for. Am I listening for the message, the power, and the evidence that it can happen for me too? Or am I looking, it's not even looking. I don't think any of us are really trying to look to enhance fears or stuff like that. I didn't finish that sentence. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't think any of us are looking for ways to compare ourselves. I think it's a very subconscious thing, right? That then we find ourselves comparing in a negative way. Again, it could be personality, it could be brain, it could be upbringing, it could be environment, it could be what you're used to or what is happening currently in your life. So many external factors that may make it harder or easier for you. But then from within, the power is within you. So for instance, now that you've heard this message, I hope and pray for you that it helps and empowers you to find what this means to you, because your situation and your journey is different. So this may be a completely different thing for you. This may be that for you, you're already not comparing yourself to people, but you're like, oh, wow, like, I've had the internet turned off, but sometimes I struggle to see that my dreams can become a reality. So now I'm looking for ways to connect to other women and use it constructively, use their journey constructively, constructively to in a constructive way to empower me to believe that I can do it that way. Like, for instance, if you have it on your heart to start a podcast, you may be like, you know what, I'm going to find some women that I feel some connection with that are doing great things with the podcast. In the process, I probably learn some strategies, but most importantly, every time I put out a podcast episode and it's not working yet, I remind myself that so this person is not work for them at the beginning, but look at them using their voice now to impact the world, to help themselves, to build their business, to help others. It's all working in any way, and you can always find evidence. There's probably nothing in this world that we are doing for the first time. This is a big world. It's been going on for a while, so we can always find that evidence. So with that being said, that's it. This is today's episode. I was going to talk to you about something completely different, which was equally on my heart to share with you, and I'm definitely going to share that in a future episode. But for now, thank you so much for listening in. I hope this empowered and inspired you. And if you do leave a comment and tell me something, it would be incredible to know a little bit about how this impacted you, what you've felt about what I'm saying, if there's anything that connecting with you, if there's something that you felt is on your heart to share. And if you subscribe, I didn't subscribe. If you download this podcast or subscribe to this post, I'm going to find the link so I can do a proper outro, and leave a comment, like it, rate it. I think you're meant to rate it, leave a rating. Can you even leave a comment? Guys, I'm not qualified to leave a podcast outro. Do what you think you can do if it's on your heart to do it. But if you do share it, if you do listen to it and it felt powerful and you have it on your heart to share, maybe there's something that you that spoke to you that you want to share with your followers, with your audience, with your listeners. If you do, tag me at the Georgiana Dacosta on Instagram. I will be super grateful, and of course to share you with my audience. And thank you for being a podcast listener. So that's it. Stay tuned for the next episodes where I share with you more of these personal journeys of entrepreneurship and being a woman and taking the leap and thriving. We are posting currently these episodes once a month. It's an experiment where I want to really dive deep into certain topics with you, like we did today. So come back next month for another one. And what I have right now for you that I want to share with you that may serve you on your journey, it's a really powerful free training. It's called How to Make Your First $1,000 and Beyond Freelancing Online. So if you are looking to start an online business or diversify your online business income, and you've ever considered a service-based business, which is also called a freelance business, this is something that I have personally done for over a decade now, almost a decade now. And it has offered me a full-time income, the opportunity to travel the world, the opportunity to grow my business, grow my income, be home with my children, and just do so many exciting things, and then add other businesses and other, passions of mine into the mix of online business. And I am sharing with you the strategies, the 3 steps that I followed, and I'm actually helping entrepreneurs to literally set up in an intentional way a business that can make them money goal. $1,000 is just an example. If you're already making $1,000 a month, but you're unsure how to scale, this training would help you. If you're not making anything, this training will help you. If you want to make $500 a month, this training will help you. And if you want to make $10,000 a month, this training will help you. It's more about the strategy behind of how to package, set up, price, consider all the elements of a business. That's something that helped me go from struggling to actually setting this up intentionally. And that's why it's been on my heart to share it in a free training. So you can download that. You can follow the link in the description on this episode. And you can also go to my Instagram. You'll find the link in bio, or you can go to georgianadacosta.com/free-training, and you will find a way to download this, get instant access to this and download it for free. Not download it, watch it for free. So that's all. I hope this helped you. Thank you for listening in. Send you lots of love. I believe in you. Take the leap and thrive, Lioness.